Hello everyone, and welcome to the first week of playoffs for the Nintendo World Report Super Smash Bros. Tournament. I am Scott Thompson.
And I'm Neil Ronahan.
And I guess to explain a little bit how this is going to work, during the regular season we did best of 3 matches, but in the playoffs we're doing best of 5. After everyone competes once, they are welcome again to compete again if the series goes 4 or 5 games. So first up we've got Team SWAN, which is Brian as Pac-Man, Don as Dark Pit, and Austin as Zero Suit Samus.
And we got Team PGC, which had a little bit of a change. We got Steven Windyman Rodriguez as Link, Michael TYP Cole as Shulk, and then we have Greg Leahy, who, after Mike Sklens had to unceremoniously bow out, Greg Leahy took up the mantle of joining Team PGC.
That is correct. Yeah, Mike had something come up, and he said he couldn't make the commitment, or he just wasn't able to to compete in the tournament the last few weeks. So he did bow out, and yeah, Greg Leahy jumped in to help Team PGC.
Yeah. And now this first match we got Windy as Link, he's one of the few undefeated fighters in the entire league, against Brian Rose, who so far has only won 1 game, and that was in the infamous Gus Bellows disaster.
That's right.
In week 1.
And also a change to the rules here compared to the regular season, because it's best of 5 and we wanted the seeding to actually mean something. How it works is every match we alternate between the top seeds rules and then the lower seeds rules. So right now this is Team PGC's rules, which is of course the Omega version of the Great Cave Offensive with no items whatsoever. And then you'll see in the next match we'll switch to Team SWAN's rules, and we'll introduce those when we get to that point. But yeah, we wanted the seeding to kind of mean something. You wanted to get the higher seed, so you have got to choose the home settings at least 3 out of the 5 matches if it goes 5 matches.
I mean, it's like the NHL playoffs.
Exactly, or NBA, or any of them. Yeah, so
except for football. Football is just one and done.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Would you ever welcome 2 out of 3 series like in the NFL?
I think it's kind of, talking about other sports when talking about Smash Brothers. I don't know if it'd work. I think you'd need to have, like, the playoffs would then be longer than the NHL playoffs, because you can't do them like in a row.
Yeah.
So each round would need to be 3 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I think 1 and done works for the NFL. Yeah. But so Windy has taken a quick lead, is now up a life on Brian's Pac-Man.
Yeah, Brian's been kind of searching for a character that works for him. I mean, he did win in week 1, but since then he lost 2 more matches as Mario, lost his Nest last week, and now he's trying out Pac-Man, and I get the vibe that I feel like he might have been playing as Pac-Man for maybe the first or second time. He's not doing terribly. Windy's really good. I don't really think it's saying that Brian's doing awful, but he doesn't really seem to be as familiar with the character.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I also find it interesting too, and I think Pac-Man is a good choice here. I think anytime you're playing against someone with no items, it like behooves you to have a character that can generate items, I think. It just adds a little extra chaos to the match.
He's actually, it seems like he's learning Pac-Man a little bit more. I mean, you got to throw that Fruit Man. I haven't seen him throw down a fire hydrant yet. That should be going down.
Right. Oh, constantly.
Yeah. I mean, Pac-Man's kind of a good chaos character, especially with people who aren't familiar with him, being a new character and all.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But I think, it looks like Windy's gonna cruise to victory here.
Yeah, so far so good. So it looks like he will remain undefeated, unless Brian can mount the miracle comeback here. We shall see. And so to elaborate again a little bit on what I said in the beginning, so it is best of 5, and like I said, everyone has to compete at least once in the first 3 matches. So every fighter, even your weakest fighter, has to compete first in those first 3 matches, and then if it does go to 4 or 5 games, you can use a fighter again, and that fighter can actually play twice again if he wants. So he can play in Game 4 and Game 5 if it went that far, and if he so chose. So you could have your best fighter at least play 3 out of the 5 matches. So a little bit of strategy there, and a little bit of eating some pride. I wonder if every team is kind of designated who their best fighter is, and if they might use that to their advantage.
We'll see how this all shakes out. It's going to be, this is the first time we're doing this, so
yeah. Like, I feel like every team kind of knows who their worst fighter is. Like, I feel like every team, to me at least, has a pecking order where it's kind of, you've got your third place guy.
You've got your Nathan Mustafa, and you've got
your John Lindemans.
Yeah. Or your Mike Sklens, and then you can just get rid of Mike Sklens and probably straight up.
Yeah.
Not even that, not that Mike was bad, but I think that TYP and Windy are the 2 dominant players here on Team PGC.
I would say so. Yeah, so we'll see if that strategy comes into play, if any games go that far. Ooh, windy. Okay, good recovery. Thought that point.
Oh.
No. That bomb.
Man, I would like to see Brian get a KO here before he loses. Go out with some pride, man. Yeah, do it. Come on.
Almost.
Oh, nice. I mean... Oh, there he might have gotten the kill. I like watching as windy as Link because that's how a good Link player plays.
Yeah, I like to see every time he gets hit off the edge, he pulls out a bomb. That way, if Brian's waiting there to sort of, edge guard him or something like that, that he can back him off before he hits the platform. Yeah, I don't know.
Could it be a clean sweep?
It might be. Oh, almost snagged him.
The grab. Now, come on.
Oh!
Go, Brian! Go, Brian! Oh!
Oh, it almost got him.
The cherry almost got him. Come on, Brian, get a KO. Get a KO, Brian! You can do it! Everybody's rooting for you. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, man, what a bummer.
We could try Brian.
Yeah. So we got up next, we're going to have Greg Leahy's Smash Brothers tournament debut here in the first round of the playoffs against Don Koopman's Dark Pit. And Don is very assuredly the best player on Team SWAN.
Oh, yeah. Whoa! Quick KO.
That was unexpected.
Wow. So Greg immediately puts himself in a hole. And, yeah, we'll see. That's going to be tough. Like you said, Don is the best player on this team by far. So being down one life like that instantly is not going to do him any favors.
Yep.
So as you can see here, we are now on Team SWAN's rule set. So this is Woohoo Island. And for this one, they went high-frequency items with only bees, the drills, and the bullet bills.
I don't
very
know
much
if there was
for the chaos factor.
Yeah, I don't know if there was really like some kind of thought or plan here with these items complementing each other, other than like, I don't know, guys, that would be dumb.
I feel like and I think we'll see it more in other games, but really, when teams knew that they were up against highly skilled opponents, they really just went for sort of this X factor. Yeah, this.
I mean, that's what
throw it off the
benefited
wall and let's see what happens.
Team Forums. I mean, that's what benefited them is that when they had home games, they went all Pokeballs, and they managed to actually win a game that way.
Yep. And we're pretty close in another game, actually. Yeah. I think week 4, they were very close to taking it as well. Yeah, so that's definitely been the strategy. I'd say there's been that, and then like RFN has probably, to me, like even though their item selections are a little bit trolly at times, they've I think probably put the most thought into their items. I would say like everything was very deliberate, and worked to their favor. I mean they won both their home games, didn't they? I believe so.
No, they lost.
Oh no, they lost. They did end up losing to Famicast in week 4. You're right. But they do get a chance to redeem. Oh.
And that's what I mean. You're seeing the chaos of the items really come into play here, as we've had 2 KOs, pretty much all because of items.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that Greg had that self-destruct right at the beginning.
Because this game would be neck and neck if it weren't for that, and instead he's playing from a stock behind.
Now I wonder, is Woohoo Island, is that available out of the gate, or do you have to unlock it? I can't remember.
I think it's available out of the gate.
Okay, because we saw in I believe it was week 3 we had a Mario Kart stage. And that's an unlockable one, and actually Team Famicast, I think, like JC, James Charleston, had like never actually played it yet and unlocked it at that point.
Yeah,
so
I think it's the Brawl one.
Yeah. So he immediately like KO'd, because he just wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
So I think there has been some of that where people haven't unlocked stages and then just
maybe
aren't
play
prepared.
the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like if the game is announced in November, if you haven't unlocked stages, I don't know.
There's not even that many stages to unlock.
No.
And like, okay, Pac-Land's kind of hard to figure out how to get. And then you need to play Smash 2 or 3 times or something.
Right. But for the most part, you just play a while or do some of the challenges and stuff like that, and you get them. I mean,
I don't know if I'd count Greg out here.
Takes the drill to the face.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Now I might count him out.
Yeah.
He took a little too much damage right there.
I mean, if you can get a kill on. Nope. No. Especially if that's going to happen.
we'll call it rookie jitters. I mean, this is his first matchup.
Oh.
I think he had some family in the stands. I think he just needed to get that first game out of his system.
Big debut.
And settle down.
That means the top seeded team, best of 5 series. It's 1-1 going into game 3. And if, in case you need the rules explained again, this is the last time that I guess the fighters are kind of predetermined. Because
Exactly,
after this one, which we will be going to a game 4,
At least,
then they can just pick whoever they want with no restrictions.
Exactly.
But now we got Austin as Zero Suit Samus, and we got TYP as Shulk.
Yeah,
and
we'll see
Austin he's played as Zero Suit Samus before.
Yes. And I think he had some success.
And that was actually no, he did not. He won a game as DDD. He lost his Zero Suit Samus.
That's right.
twice.
DDD was his good one. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go back to DDD. It wasn't DDD. I think he just did DDD recently. Huh. Oh, the counter there. That, to me, that's been the X factor in this match. Anytime a Shulk is involved, and not this match, this tournament, I should say. When you've got good use of the counter, it seems like players aren't really prepared for that. I don't know if a lot of people have played against Shulk.
TYP actually knows what he's doing with Shulk. That's the big difference here.
Yeah. And people, I think, in general, aren't really prepared for that counter. I've seen it effectively work a lot in different matchups.
Yep. I mean, I think TYP's probably salty about last week where he suffered his first loss, getting
that is correct,
basically goosed by Travis Brody.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that counter.
I mean, poor Austin. I mean, talking about rookie jitters, he doesn't really know anybody here.
Yeah.
He was called in because we lost someone at the last minute.
Right, that is correct. And, he's done well to fill in.
Yeah.
And, I think he's had some tough matchups. I think he's played really well, all things considered. I mean, first week.
Gus Bellows, the trial by fire.
Right, and he was Sonic, and it was just a terrible matchup there. And he's played some hard players, but I feel like he's held in there. He'll
probably have a good jump into year 2. I'd be surprised if he sneaks this one out, and I think this is kind of the match that Team SWAN needs to win if they want any prayer of upsetting the top-ranked team here.
Exactly, because if you go down into a 2-1 hole, and now Team PGC is free to bring TYP back or to bring Windy back, and that's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, and I think for Game 4. For Game 4, I think you got to go with Windy if you're Team PGC.
I think so, and I think you got to go with Don.
Yeah, I mean they are the top 2 players in both teams. I think TYP is very strong, but I think that Windy's Link is a little more devastating than TYP's Shulk or Zelda.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh,
and good use of the counter again.
Right.
And as you can see, he's kind of going defensive, going with the shield Monado arts here as he has a high percentage.
Exactly. Yeah, and his counter game has been good. I mean, you see, he knows when
he goes
back every time.
I thought he was going back to the shield.
Deactivated, yeah. Every time Austin kind of gets behind him, he immediately throws up the counter and seems to always connect.
Yep, there we go as the shield. I think TYP is really feeling it, as it were. If anyone wants to go back through all the weeks of this and see how many times one of us makes that joke.
Yeah, it has to happen probably at least.
Too many. Because there's been too many Shulks.
Yeah.
There's been at least a Shulk a week, man.
Week 1 was fantastic. I think we had like 4 or 5 Shulks week 1. Then everyone was like, oh, this isn't really working. For the most part. I'd like to see Austin at least get on the board here.
That would be nice.
Another like moral victory, but I just don't know. Oof. Yeah, I mean, that shield art is just making all the difference in the world.
So far there has been 5 different people that have used Shulk across 11 matches. So that might actually be the most represented character. I think probably also up there is, I think we got Link because we have Windy and Andy. Andy from
We use Link every time, yeah.
And then a couple other people have played as Link sporadically. 2 Links very popular as well, same as Little Mac.
Yeah, I find that interesting. I'd have to check the pro level, rankings for every.
Yeah.
Oof.
That was rough.
So PGC goes up 2-1. Needs one more win to advance.
Yes.
So we'll see here who they decide to pair up against each other. Who returns?
I assume Wendy and Don.
I would think so, and that's what it is. Wendy and Don. And now we are back on Team SWAN's item settings and level selection. This worked out pretty well for Don before.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I know what Wendy's item game is, if he's strong with it. And it seems like early on he's using items.
He strikes me a lot as like Justin. Like I think he can use items if that's what's there, but he would prefer to play without them. But Don's really got to make the most of the items.
Yep.
Because Don's good, but I mean Wendy has been unstoppable to this point.
I do have to say that Wendy, as a former director of Nintendo World Report, if he ever came back and challenged me to a Smash Brothers match to assume the role of director, which is as is tradition, I think I'm fucked.
Yeah, I'd say so.
As he will say.
That was oddly appropriate. Whoa!
Oh, that could have been disastrous. Wow. Now I think if Don somehow wins this one, I think Team SWAN has to go with Don again for Game 5.
I would.
But I think PGC would probably be apt to vary it up and put in TYP.
Right. Yeah. There's no harm in it. They're both very good. I have a hard time kind of distinguishing between who's better than who. So they have, I don't think they lose anything by deciding to go back to TYP if it went to a Game 5. But yeah, I think you got to write Don out from finishing this matchup. You just have to.
And I don't think it's that Austin and Brian are bad on Team SWAN. I just think Don has really asserted himself as probably the most reliable player on the team. Yeah.
Oh.
It's almost a great use of the drill. Now the bees are annoying.
Bees, I know. But, I think it's working. Oh wow!
Well, all right.
Don evens it up. Yeah, and see, I think the bees work out well for Don in this matchup because as we've seen, Wendy's like very good at sort of avoiding damage.
Yeah.
And so, wow, that's gonna be a hole. I don't think Don can climb out of. That was an early KO. Wow. But as I was saying, like Wendy to me is very good at like avoiding damage. Yikes. So if wow. Well, who even cares because the match is over.
Okay.
Wow.
So Team PGC is moving on to round 2 in the playoffs, in which they will fare off against Team RFN. So that means Greg gets to fight his old castmates.
Wow, look at that.
All right.
So there you have it. Yeah, so good win by PGC. Good effort by SWAN. They are now officially eliminated from the tournament. So we will just have to wait and see what they can bring back in Season 2.
Yeah.
So there you go. So thank you so much for watching, and you can check out the rest of the playoffs at the NWR TV YouTube channel.
Thank you.